How's it going, guys? We're back for another SBT match, and right now we're in with the B League coaches. Actually, the top we have Zombie versus Puck here. Both of them are undefeated, I'm pretty sure, and they're going for one of them is going for an undefeated record right now. One of them has to take an L, um, and it looks like I'm just gonna tell them. Um, yeah, so it looks like Puckbud is Mega Beedrill, Incineroar, Raptor, Swampert, Decidueye, the Thundurus Incarnate. Zombie brought his Ferrothorn, his Landorus Therian, Entei, Toxapex, Mega Latios, and the Ditto. So, good luck and have fun to both of these coaches. Um, it's definitely going to be a good match. Mega Latios has been doing amazing this season for everyone who has it. And Puck has been doing amazing with his Thundurus as he leads with it. We actually don't see the Defiant, so we know that this Thundurus is Prankster. He could just be Prankster to perhaps Thunder Wave that Latios if it comes to it, or or Taunt on that Pex or what have you. We do see the Hidden Power Ice, and it does decent chunk to Latias. Nothing too crazy. Obviously, Landers did not want to stay in to take that, and perhaps Landers isn't even Scarf to want to stay in. So he actually opts to go into the Latias to take it. Latias now just Megas, as Thunders wants to get out of here, probably going to the Incineroar, or really Incineroar is his only play, but then again, he could go into the Decidueye if he feels like Decidueye is a safe switch in. He could go into the Staraptor if he feels like the Latias is trying to set up right here. Zombie predicts the Incineroar properly to come in, most likely being his optimal play there. Nothing really else wanted to switch in. Unfortunately, Puck can't really predict too heavily with this Latias being in here. Incineroar has to be switching. It looks very Assault Test to me, but I could be wrong. It could be something else. Latias, I believe, might want to stay in here if he wants to recover. But in comes the Pex to perhaps take this. It was going to be incoming U-turn / knockoff, and knockoff was the correct play there to get rid of anything that Toxapex really wanted to take over. Now, Incineroar could have the Earthquake. We did see the Weclome Berry, so obviously a counterplay for that Thundurus. And again, we know that Thundurus is Prankster, so it could be just taunting or even Z move if it has it. But Incineroar now could just go for a U-turn if he wants to, or unless he wants to go for the Earthquake. Pex could set up his T-Spikes here, but really T-Spikes against Puck is not going to be that useful, especially when the Beedrill can obviously absorb them. But maybe that's exactly what Zombie wants to do. He wants to bait in that Beedrill and perhaps kind of take it on with the Entei or something like the Landers. Of course, Beedrill can pivot out on pretty much anything and not have to worry too much because it will be doing a lot to the Ferrothorn, even though Ferrothorn is going to be chipping him down repeatedly. But it looks like Zombie does stay in with his Pex, and he goes for that Toxic. So a Toxic on Incineroar made a lot of sense, obviously weakening it to the point where Latias can actually just really do what it needs to do. Incineroar is really the only thing in the way of Latias potentially having a field day. Also, the potential of having Thunder Wave on this Thunders. We have seen the Volt Switch and the Hidden Power at this point, so we do see the Volt Switch again here. And we do see the leftovers on Thundurus, so it's not going to be the Z move that I was thinking of. His Z move could be elsewhere, perhaps on the Decidueye or the Staraptor, or maybe in the Swampert. But the Landorus coming in now, I'm not too positive what kind of Landorus this is. We did see it swap out originally, maybe thinking that he couldn't KO with the Stone Edge. But he is Scarfed. He's revealed to be Scarfed. I was kind of thinking that he could be, but at the same time, um, with him swapping out originally, it wasn't the most optimal play. Puck makes a very nice read and then goes for the Volt Switch there, predicting Zombie not to stay in. Obviously, take a Hidden Power, so he was either Scarfed U-turning or just hard swapping out into the Latias again. But in comes the Entei now, does not want to stay into the Swampert, pretty much will do nothing, and Puck finds a very nice opportunity to set up his rocks. Now, obviously, this does bait in the Ferrothorn, which can get up his own rocks. He can do some Thunder Wave action, he can get some spikes, he can go for a Toxic. If the Decidueye wants to set up right now, it could get a little bit scary, but He could trap this Toxapex, which is exactly what he does. And this is perfect for Puck because um, he really wants to chip down this Toxapex and keep him in here because Toxapex obviously repeatedly swapping out is going to be a hindrance for Puckbud. As Decidueye does try to set up there, we have him behind a sub, and he is able to get up a Swords Dance. Zombie cannot repeatedly just continuously haze. Well, he could technically, but um, he has to do it at this range. So it's going to be a recover slash Swords Dance and Spirit Shackle um, kind of war right now, unless Puck really wants to swap out. But he is behind a sub, so he's pretty safe. And this Toxapex is trapped in here, so he could be trying to stall him out of recovers if he opts to do it. He does fire off his Z move. This could be doing a lot of damage, but I don't know if it's gonna. It does take him out. It looks like it takes him out, and that's gonna be one down on Zombie's end. And the Decidueye is set up with a sub, so uh, not even Ditto can come in right now. I think Zombie has to kind of go into his Ferrothorn, uh, unfortunately, and that could be a bit of a problem. If Zombie wants to go into Landorus and just break this sub with a U-turn, the only issue with that is Puck can obviously just sub again. Um, Entei doesn't exactly want to come in. If he does, maybe just to break the sub. Zombie knows he has to break this sub somehow. Going into Ferrothorn might be the best course of action, but again, he is at +2. A Spirit Shackle is going to be doing a lot of damage. It's going to trap him to the point where he is going to have to sack something. So, Zombie not in the best spot right now, honestly. He used that Toxapex to kind of set up his Decidueye, and now Zombie's in a bit of a predicament. He has to kind of analyze what his end game strategy is going to be, and it looks like it's going to be one without the Ferrothorn. So, not the best, especially since this is a very nice switch into the Swampert. But we do see another sub coming out, and obviously Zombie has to repeatedly make sure that this Decidueye does not get behind a sub. This is the whole point. There's another sub. I'm not too positive what Puck's trying to do here, but so he does have the Roost, and this is Mono Ghost, which is pretty nice for him. You know, going for a Spirit Shackle at one point could trap this Ferrothorn, because if Zombie predicts properly, predicting the Roost at one point, the Ditto can come in and just copy this Decidueye. So um, he has to make sure that he doesn't misplay, because Landorus comes in now just to drop the Decidueye's attack. We could be seeing, so we don't see it, but we could see the obvious U-turn to break the sub, and so we see a knockoff instead. That's going to be the end of Landorus, unfortunately, and I don't know if Zombie really needed that, but it would have been nice to kind of handle stuff like the Beedrill and the Incineroar. But I think Zombie's okay with this exchange because now he gets to copy this Decidueye, and he could be scarfed. So something kind of has to come in here and take the Spirit Shackle. Of course, the Staraptor can easily come in. We know that this set is Mono Ghost, so but that does force out the Decidueye, which was causing Zombie a lot of issues. So unfortunately, this is going to be an uphill battle for Zombie now that he's kind of lost his footing. And we did see the Rocky Helmet on Ferrothorn as well. So Thundy comes back in here now. He could be trying to defog slash just taunt right now. A taunt looks very obvious right now. You know, a Volt Switch also kind of works, but we could also just see a Focus Blast or a Superpower. The thing is that Zombie might want to keep this around. At the same time, yeah, I was gonna say the Latias has to really try to come in here to start applying some pressure against Puck, because otherwise, if he kept the Ferrothorn in, he's really at the mercy of Puck's offense himself. So Zombie really has to start pressuring him with this Latias, and he knows that Thundy can really only be doing so much within power. But if we do see that T-Wave, if we see the T-Wave right now from this Thunderous, that could be very bad for Latias if he doesn't have Refresh. And we have seen Surf already. So Incineroar, again, is a pretty free switch if he wants to go into that right now. We do see the taunt, um, and that was obvious when he brought in the Ferrothorn, but I would have figured he would have had something like T-Wave instead. But we do see another Surf, and unfortunately, Zombie has to kind of predict right now because Thundurus is going to have to come back in, or the Swampert, and then we're going to see some rocks again. Uh, Puck's making all the necessary plays to put himself in a good position for when that Beedrill wants to come out, because obviously Beedrill just beats the Latios, no question. So if Zombie loses this Entei, it's going to be a big problem for him in the late game. Um, do you see the rocks? Of course, Zombie doesn't have the best way to remove this unless this Latios has it, but we could see the Energy Ball, and these rocks are really going to hurt the Entei later on. So Thundurus comes back in, maybe just to sack it, and it makes a lot of sense. Of course, Thundurus does outspeed Latios, so it doesn't make a difference, especially if he wants to taunt right now. I think Latios might want to claim a kill, but of course, Incineroar could easily come back in on this. So we do see the hidden power. We could see a Roost. We actually do. And I think a continuous spamming of Roost is the better play. But Incineroar is going to come back in and get a free slow U-turn out into something like the Beedrill. So I'm not too sure what Latios wants to do in this scenario. There's a hidden power again. Let's see the Surf coming out, predicting the Incineroar, of course. Beedrill comes in now. He knows that he can revenge this Latios at this range, and something has to get sacked right here. If it's not going to be the Ferrothorn, it's going to be the Ditto, and Zombie really does not have the best footing at this point. Puck obviously was okay with that exchange of losing Thundurus to bring in this Beedrill and really damage this Ferrothorn down to the point where he can revenge it with anything. A Spirit Shackle, if Ferrothorn wants to try to Thunder Wave. Obviously, we do see this. We know that he has a sub, so Entei comes in instead, and we do see the sub, so very unfortunate, but this Entei has to drop to this Decidueye, and um, Decidueye is very low, so Latios can revenge at this point. Um, and Ditto cannot even really do too much, especially with the Staraptor in the back, so uh, the whole purpose from Puck's point of view, I would imagine, is that he wants to clean with Staraptor and Beedrill in the late game. That's his entire method. Of course, the Incineroar is at 50%, so he can still come in on this, but Beedrill can easily come in now and continuously chip down Zombie's team. Not really looking too good for Zombie. Puck playing absolutely brilliantly. He's preserving what he needs to win the late game, being that Beedrill and the Staraptor. If Beedrill drops, then of course Staraptor can still win. It looks very much Scarf to me. And Beedrill's just taking Chip, but Chip's not going to matter too much. Now, I don't know exactly what Zombie wants to bring in with that whatever Puck wants to bring in, because he does not want Ditto to copy that Staraptor. In fact, I think he wants to go into Swampert right here. Incineroar actually comes in, maybe not allowing the Latios to come in, so he most likely just wants the Ditto in, and these two can just knock each other off. If not, then they could have things like EQ or Superpower or Drain Punch or Toxic, but I think Puck's is a Saltfest, to be honest, and I think this. So we do see a crit fake out, unfortunately, but Zombie, he really has to. Okay, so now Incineroar is in range of Latios' Surf, and hopefully that's going to matter. But again, Puck has two Mons that outspeed Latios, and I really think Beedrill might want to come in right here if he has the drill run. Well, this this Incineroar is Scarf, but I'm not too sure if he outspeeds Beedrill, especially with Beedrill being so fast. We could see the drill run right now. The drill run or the U-turn, it's just that Zombie can't switch at this point. So even a Poison Jab does the damage it needs. So in comes the Latios now, and of course there's no escaping this U-turn right here. So that's going to be the game. A very nice match for Puck, a 4-0 to Zombie or to Puck, and a very good match indeed. Puck made sure he kept the momentum that he needed in this match. Made sure that Zombie did not have any kind of initiative with his setup mons, if he had any. He had the Scarf Landorus, which really could not get any momentum that he needed. In fact, he needed it as a sack in the early game. So very well done on Puck's end, and GG to both coaches.